offense, and on Sunday afternoon against Jordan and company, they were forced to rely on their depth. We go to the Forum. Two of the best guards to ever play the game. They were quiet in the first half, except for this block by Michael on Michael Thompson. The Bulls led early, thanks to Scottie Pippen. 18 first-half points. The Bulls led by as many as 5. But the Lakers got hot behind Terry Teagle. Teagle was the guy who came over when Magic decided to sacrifice part of his paycheck. They signed Teagle. Teagle had a big afternoon. But Michael, as you could expect, had his share of showtime. 23 points, though, 9 below his average. The Bulls down by 6 at the half. Bulls to within 4. And then the Bulls pulled to within 2. Then tragedy struck for L.A. Magic will fall down and then get kicked in the head by Horace Grant. And the Forum crowd stunned a little bit. It took a couple of minutes before Magic could get to his feet. And then the game continued. Tony Smith, the rookie out of Marquette, filling in for Magic. As Magic heading off to the hospital with a concussion and possible amnesia. Chicago a loser at the Forum as L.A. pulls out the victory 99-86. Magic, who did suffer the concussion, will spend the evening in a Los Angeles.
Bullets All-Star started today, but he didn't finish against the Boston Celtics in a game in which, of course, Larry Bird is still watching, not playing, and the Celtics still running. Kevin Gamble with a bird-like no-looker to Reggie Lewis. Celtics took the early lead, but Bernard King in this game, watch him take all this contact, banging and pushing and shooting and scoring. He had 20 in the first half, but the Celtics break away in the second half. King will lose it here. Reggie Lewis gets the basket, contact, and the foul in a 17-point Celtic lead. Then Bernard King had problems breathing and an irregular heartbeat. Only 8 players dressed for the Bullets today. King left for Massachusetts General to be under observation. And then Gamble misses here. Dave Popson among a very tired group of Bullets. Nobody on the bench. Boston wins it 119-101. Bernard King hospitalized briefly. He is now cleared to play. He simply had an thing happen today against the Pistons. Dan Marley thinking, what about a steal and a jam? Yeah, that's the idea. Here's the steal. There's the jam. 5 steals today for Marley. Another steal and a jam. Tom Chambers with a steal. Kevin Johnson with a pass. And Chambers is there. KJ had 14 assists. Another steal and jam. Dan Thunder Marley with a steal. To KJ with a give and go. And the Suns at halftime leading it by 11. Yuck, yuck, says Mark Aguirre. More stealing and jamming. KJ with a steal. Xavier McDaniel to Tom Chambers. After 3, the Suns comfortably on top by 18. And Dan Marley ain't done yet. Picks Joe Dumars' pass, puts it on home. Cotton happy. Chuck not so as the 5-game win streak for the Pistons goes bye-bye. In that streak, Pistons had held teams to under 84 points. Not today. 112 in town. Sir Charles back in that lineup, guarded by Todd Murphy. And the foul. Mahorn and Barkley thumping and bumping just like old times. Great first quarter for the T-Wolves. Sam Mitchell with a drive past Armin Gilliam. He had 18 in the first quarter, 21 in the half. Into the second half, Minnesota leading it by 12, but Charles Barkley completes a 14-point Philly run. Sixers have the lead. 16 seconds in regulation. The Sixers have a 3-point lead. Jerome Poole Richardson saying, I need a 3. The toes might have been on the line, but they call it 3. We go to the overtime. 8 seconds left in the overtime. Minnesota leading it by a point. Barkley driving offensive foul is 6th, and he's fouled out with 30 points. 5 seconds in that first OT. 2-point deficit for the Sixers. Ron Anderson ties it into the second OT. We go where it was all Minnesota. Poole Richardson to Tyrone Corbin. Tyco had 6 in the second OT. And Minnesota plays their first ever double overtime game and wins it 110-102. Sam Mitchell.
We go to the Shark Tank. And if there was any question about Stacey Augman's all-around game, he certainly has the answers. He shows you the spin move. All right, he can dribble. The pass to H. Waldman. All right, he can dribble. Can he shoot? Augman for 3. Good. He had 27. All right, dribble, shoot. How about rebounding? Augman, the follow-up on Greg Anthony's shot. Gets the rebound, gets the hoop. He had 11 rebounds. Dribble, shooting, rebounding. All right, passing. The no-look pass to Larry Johnson. 11 assists for Augman on the afternoon. All right, what's left? Not much. A triple-double for Stacey Augmon as UNLV picks up another victory and another blowout as they are averaging by 44 years. John Thompson saying to Joey Brown, get the ball into the big guy, Dikembe Mutombo. He had 22 points. Brian Kelly, Kevin Holland exchanging some words. David Booth was on fire. Nothing but net. 22 points. And then blows by Mutombo, the running leaner. And then John Thompson, a variety of plays, a variety of defenses. They could not stop DePaul. Jeff Stern, Joey Myers pumped. Charles Harrison's errant pass goes into the hands of Melvin Foster, who brings it on home. And Meyer hugging his favorite recruit, his son. First victory over John Thompson, 72-63. 18 of David Booth's 22 points arrived in the second half.
Duck Don Cheney a little bit worried early on. Chris Mullen. I got the ball. He puts it home. Vernon Maxwell had a monster game. He hits this three. He had 23 in the first half. 5 threes. 6 seconds till halftime. Tim Hardaway, the all-star. Warriors by 8. David Wood, pretty spin in the end of the third quarter. And Nelly beginning to wonder if he could pull out this W on the road into the fourth quarter. Otis, my man, Thorpe. And it's a 1-point lead for Golden State. Sleepy Floyd. Eric with the drive. Rockets lead it by 1. Last seconds of regulation. Non-all-star Mitch Richmond. Desperation 3. We go to overtime, tied at 118. First OT, Tom Tolbert, soft J. We go to double OT at 127 apiece. Second OT, that's Sleepy Floyd and the foul. He had 30 points, 22 of 20.